Euro Marine Special right there on the inside, and you can see it's a much clearer day. We have blue skies, the sun is shining finally, and we do have a correction. Where we originally said we'll be running the storm course, we will be going the distance today, and all classes will be running the full distance today, the complete legs of the race. Team USA is right there in the center of your picture. Bob Kaiser Systems, that black hulled boat is also out there. Don Johnson, Team USA, was a casualty of the rough water in Tuesday's race. He feels he definitely has a dominating boat, and they sure hope to show it here today. Bob Kaiser's new Jaguar Cat Systems has also come out today. He had some problems in the milling area on Tuesday where it was very rough, and he's back out here today. High Risk is coming out. All the boats are coming out. As you can see, it's a very clear day, limited cloud cover. So finally, we should get a fantastic day of offshore powerboat racing in, where the speed should be a lot higher. And for a change, the drivers and the boats will be the story as opposed to the weather. We'll be going with the superboat start here. Once all the boats get out into the milling area, the pace boat will start bringing them out on plane, and in just several moments, this final leg of the '89 World Championships will be underway. Now all the boats have gotten to the milling area. They'll be circling here for several moments, and then the pace boat will start to bring them out, and we will be underway. The pace boat has the yellow flag up. Smokin' Hog, the name of that pace boat. Signaling for the races to start coming out on plane. Fabio Buzzi in the Popeyes boat today. They have put together some sort of merger with Copeland, and Buzzi is heading up the Popeyes race team right now. Charlie Marks, along with Tom Gentry, will be in the Eric's Reality boat, racing under the banner name of the Gentry Turbo Eagle. Tom Gentry met with a sinking, dismal performance for them on Tuesday due to the rough seas, so he has allied himself with Charlie Marks. That leaves Joey and Pressure out of a ride today. Don Johnson's Team USA in the center of your picture. Fabio Buzzi's Popeyes is on the inside, starting to get towards the race course. Mr. Roberts is there. RDS is right there. RDS on the inside, Lucky Strike on the outside of him. It's Charlie Marks, Eric's Reality under the banner of Tom Gentry's. Jesse James is out here right now, and we're starting to get ready for this exciting start. There you see the boardwalk of Atlantic City in the background. Finally, we've got a nice day for the spectators to come out on the boardwalk and view the racing as it goes by Atlantic City. Mr. Roberts on the inside. Don Johnson's Team USA right there in the center of your picture. We've got the green. Eric's Reality goes right out. Jesse James, Lucky Strike. Don Johnson's Team USA. Little Caesar's Pizza is on the outside. We've got a great start. RDS in the middle of your picture right behind Laven and Jesse James. Charlie Marks with Tom Gentry in the middle of your picture. Don Johnson's Teams USA really gets off to a good start. Lucky Strike is in the middle of the pack. RDS coming up alongside Jesse James, who's got a slight lead over RDS. And Tom Gentry's under the banner Gentry Turbo Eagle has gone out with Don Johnson's Team USA. That's the Lucky Strike race boat right here. 45. And already you see they have some problems. They have that engine cover up. One of the crew members, they are looking into the engine compartment to see what the problem is. Might be low on oil pressure, something like that. He's gone inside the engine compartment to try to see if he can troubleshoot this problem. The race has just begun, and already Lucky Strike has perhaps met with a potential destructive element to knock them out of the race. However, they seem to be able to keep the boat going. All eyes seem to be focused on that engine compartment. We hope it's nothing serious at the present time. Now we come up on boat number 113. It's AJ Jr.'s Mr. Roberts. There's a 50-foot Boss powerboat powered by three 840 horsepower Roger Munn engines with Mercury outdrives. This boat is owned by Boss Racing Team Incorporated. From Miami, Florida, your driver is Nick Antonelli, navigating is Roger Munn, and AJ Roberts Sr. is your throttle man. The Mr. Roberts Race Team. They were unable to start the first leg of the race on Tuesday, so they have gotten out here today, and they certainly hope to have a very strong performance here, because anything can happen. When you only have 2 days of racing, and we've had so many mechanical problems that first day, if you get a strong finish here today, depending on what happens to the other boats, you could wind up in one of the top finishers in class. So Nick Antonelli, being aware of this, is certainly out here and going to charge very hard toward the finish line here today. It's Nick Antonelli's, AJ Jr.'s, Mr. Roberts Race Team. That's Mr. Roberts coming up on Lucky Strike on the outside. Tough break for Lucky Strike. As you can see, the engine compartment is still open. They're working on that motor. They're trying to maintain some competitive speed right now. But as you can see, Mr. Roberts going by. And going by on the inside of AJ Roberts, it's the boat known as Kappa, one of the Italian entries. Now we come up on your champion for 1989, John D'Elia's Special Edition Race Team, US 1. This is a 35-foot Jaguar powered by two 750 horsepower Merc Cruiser inboards with Merc Cruiser drives. This boat is owned by D'Elia Pontiac of Greenwich, Connecticut. John D'Elia from Cos Cob is your driver, and JD, his son, JD D'Elia, is on throttles. They had a fantastic 89 campaign, taking the overall championship in the open class on the national level this year. However, they have not met with such good fortune here this week in racing. They did not finish in Tuesday's race, so they certainly hope to avenge that here today. They know what this boat has. They are defending champions, so they certainly know what it's all about to come out strong. The seas are calmer. They feel very confident this morning when we met with them, so we certainly hope they have a fine run today, and we wish them all the best. The competition, once again, is so competitive in UIM 1. You've got so many boats. Earlier on, you saw Dirty Laundry, Achille Motors, Gancha de Gancha, Mandy Fernandez's Hawk Marine Power, Mellons, who's a very tough boat recently, Samurai, and many, many more. So Special Edition really has his work cut out for him, and as he's dueled all year with Joe Mack's Dirty Laundry, he's got to go for it here today. You saw him come very close to a spectator boat right there, a little close on the race course. We certainly hope that gets straightened out. But right now, John D'Elia, along with JD, US 1, 1989 national champions in the UIM 1 class, are trying to run very strong right now. They seem very competitive, and we wish them all the best here today in the final leg of the 89 World Championship Championships from Atlantic City. Now we come up on Mandy Fernandez's boat number 26, Hawk Marine Power Race Team. This all-red 35-foot Jaguar is powered by twin 700 horsepower Hawk inboard motors with Kike for outdrives. Mandy Fernandez is your driver of record, and he's doing the throttling. Driving and navigating today are John Tomlinson from Miami, Florida, and the boat is also owned by Mandy Fernandez. Mandy would like to extend a special thanks to Buddy and Larry, who've done a great job in help making the Hawk Marine Power a winning team. They represent Hawk Marine, and he would also like to extend a special thanks to Craig Barry from Cigarette. Recently this year, Mandy has won the Gold Coast Championship, which was a series of races held down in Florida for this year, and he did do very well in that. He's also taken a second in D-Class this year, and as I indicated earlier on, he did have a second in Tuesday's race. So Mandy Fernandez is in the hunt for the championship here today. He was second overall in 1989. He took a second here Tuesday in the first leg of the race. So if Mandy can duplicate or perhaps even take the first place checkered flag here today, he could be your 1989 World Championship, which would be a great accomplishment for Mandy Fernandez's Hawk Marine Power. So with that, we certainly wish him all the best. Mandy does a great job on throttles, as you can hear. He's been a great race competitor for so many years. Who could forget his memorable rides in the Dam Carrara race team and some other rides that he's caught on with. But now Mandy has his own team, a new boat here, and it's Hawk Marine Power, headed up by Mandy Fernandez. We wish him all the best. He's a good friend of Freeze Frame Video, and we wish him all the best. And that's Achille Motors, one of the Italian boats, coming right up alongside Fernandez's Hawk Marine Power. They're now rounding the checkpoint. Good bit of action as Achille Motors comes right into the picture. But Mandy Fernandez responds, puts that throttle right down as he rounds the checkpoint, and he's in the hunt as he tracks down Achille Motors. So with that, we'd like to wish Mandy Fernandez all the best from Atlantic City. Mandy Fernandez's Hawk Marine Power. Mandy Fernandez having a good run. And there he's coming up and going past Chris Lavin's Jesse James race team. Tough break for Jesse James. They have had some mechanical problems. Tough break for them today. We hope they get that boat restarted. Seems as if Lucky Strike has gotten the mechanical gremlins worked out of their boat, because the engine cover obviously is down, and there you see him going by on the far outside as he passes Mandy Fernandez's Hawk Marine Power. You get an idea today. We have some sunshine. The seas are rough, but nowhere near as rough as a 6-foot chop we were experiencing on Tuesday. So these boats can go out much better. The cats can fly a little better, as you can see right there, and Fernandez is going all out at this point in the race. Hawk Marine Power on the inside, Lucky Strike on the far outside. Now we come up on boat number 2. It's the Dirty Laundry race team. This 37-foot blue, red, and white Cougar is powered by two 800-horsepower Lightning inboard motors with Kike for outdrives. This boat is owned and driven by Joe Mack of St. Louis, Missouri, and Smitty is on throttles. Joe Mack's Dirty Laundry had a phenomenal run on Tuesday. In those rough seas, anything can happen, and Joe Mack seized the opportunity with so many boats being out. He was able to have a strong run based on the weather conditions, and he took first place in Tuesday's race. So he's presently your leader, and he's the odds-on favorite for this class, but anything can happen. But Joe Mack with a first-place finish on Tuesday and a good run here today could be your champion in the UIM1 class. So we wish him all the best. He's aware of it. He definitely would love to have that 1989 World Championship under his belt here today. So we wish him all the best as this race moves on from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Joe Mack's Dirty Laundry race team. We wish him all the best. Mac and Smitty seem very confident and comfortable in their racing capsules right now. Boat's running very strong at this present point in time. Joe Max, Dirty Laundry. Now we come up on boat number 5, the Bengal Bay Club race team. This all-black 41-foot Cougar catamaran is powered by two 700-horsepower KSW Offshore Engineering inboard motors with Arneson drives. This boat is owned and driven by Masakuzu Kobayashi from Nishiki, Japan. Jun Kobayashi is your navigator, and Gus Falcone is your throttle man. Gus has so many races under his belt. There you see them right there with a thumbs-up sign to the freeze-frame video helicopter. Unfortunately, they did not have good luck on Tuesday, where the Bengal Bay Club was forced to retire along with so many other boats. But today is a new day, and right now they seem to have this Cougar dialed in quite nicely, and they're running very strong. We wish them all the best in this final leg of the '89 World Championships in Atlantic City, the Bengal Bay Club race team. Gus Falcone is doing an excellent job on the throttles right now. So if this keeps up, Bengal Bay Club should certainly have a good run here today. They seem to be moving along quite nicely. The Bengal Bay Club race team navigating their way around this course, getting ready for their next turn around the checkpoint. Now we come up on Abel race team, M50. This is a 36-foot FB Marine race hull powered by twin 650 horsepower C-Tech turbo motors with FB Marine outdrives. This boat is owned by FB Marine. Your driver is Carlo Bonami from London, England. Emilio Reganti is on throttles from Milan, Italy. And Antonella Mandelli Brown from Milan, Italy and New York is your navigator. The Abel race team is sponsored by Abel Watches. They're the European Offshore champion, and on Tuesday they took a first place in their class when they held off the hard-charging Diesel Dancer in UIM 2. And one thing different here today, as you can see, the Abel race team formerly did have a wing on that boat, but for some reason they have taken it off, feeling that maybe the seas are calmer today. It's not necessary, and they could make up some better time today. But that is the reason why that is off. They're presently running in first place, and on Tuesday they did have an average speed of 57 miles per hour, but right now with the calm seas they are running stronger than that. In the high 60s, low 70s right now, which is certainly much better than they were doing on Tuesday, and that's due overall to the calmness in the seas that we have today. Antonella Mandelli Brown is a four-time European Women's Rallies champion, and she is the wife of race car owner G. Garvin Brown III, who is considered to be one of the main men behind the success of the IndyCar driver Danny Sullivan here in the United States. So the Abel race team would certainly like to have a good finish here today. And once again, as Diesel Dancer was their main competitor in Tuesday's race, Diesel Dancer, headed up by Robert Fletcher from Banbury, England, is going to be Abel's main competition here today. So we have to see how this shakes down. But right now, Diesel Dancer is not in the picture, where on Tuesday the two boats were running neck and neck, and right now it seems to be all Abel race team. So with that, we wish them all the best as the World Championships are unfolding here today. The Abel race team from Atlantic City, New Jersey. We have a slight correction in our present standings. In UIM 2 right now, Team Skater is in your lead, Abel race team is in second, and Diesel Dancer is in third. Of course, these are unofficial results, and we'll have to see how things unwind right now, but Abel is charging hard to try to overtake Team Skater. Now we come up on boat number 34, the boat known as Bella. This is a 35-foot Baja powered by two 750 horsepower Merc Cruiser inboards with Merc Cruiser drives. This boat is owned and driven by Kimmo Westerberg of Tampere, Finland, and Nico Westerberg is your navigator. The Westerbergs making up the Bella race team. They were not able to finish in the first leg of the race here on Tuesday, as many of the other boats did not finish also either. So they would like to have a good run here today, but competition is so competitive in UIM 1. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Right now, Bella is trying to make its way up through the field and try to join the lead pack in the UIM 1 class. A boat from Finland certainly helped to make up the international flavor of the World Championship. We have people from Italy, England, Japan, Bermuda, Finland, and many other countries joining the United States to grace us here and make the World Championships truly a world event. The Westerbergs making up the Bella race team from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Now we come up on M1, Diesel Dancer. There's a 40-foot Sheed Planty Deep V race hull, powered by two 600 Sabre inboard motors with Merc Cruiser drives. This boat is owned and driven by Roger Fletcher from Branbury, England. Peter Smith is your navigator, and Mike Edwards is on throttles. They're the 1988 Class 2 World Champion. They're the Class 1 and 2 British National Champion 88-89, so they would certainly like to have a good finish here today in the Worlds. On Tuesday, they were locked in a fierce battle with Abel Racing Team, and on the outside, that's Little Caesars passing them on the outside. Different class boats, so there's no contention problems there. These two Sabre Marathon diesels with twin turbos each have 1,200 horsepower total. Next year, they plan on upgrading to Class 1 with a 47-foot Don Sheed monohull. We wish them all the best for this race, as well as they're moving up in class next year. Roger Fletcher's Diesel Dancer race team. Diesel Dancer took a second place on Tuesday's race, as I mentioned, where they were locked in a fierce battle with Abel Race Team. And so right now it's still Abel Race Team, Diesel Dancer, and Team Skater locked in a very competitive battle here today. We'll have to wait and see how this one unwinds, but Diesel Dancer is having a very good run as they're charging hard to overtake the Abel Race Team. Now we come up on Miss Don Q Rum. This is a 32-foot Douglas skater powered by three 265 horsepower Mercury outboard motors. This boat is owned by Felix J. Sorales from Mercadito, Puerto Rico. Driving today is Juan Sorales. Felix does the throttles, and Felix is also your driver of record. Miss Don Q Rum, They took a second place on Tuesday, where they were locked in a very fierce battle with Risky Business that went on pretty much for the entire race. So we'll have to see how things go today for him, but right now he is running very strong. He's already got a second place from Tuesday, so a good finish here today. He could become your world champion. He is already your national champion in the Pro Stock competition, where he held off High Risk, First Offense, Ocean Outboard, and Risky Business. So Felix Sorales really has his act together. He had a fantastic 89 campaign. He had a good race on Tuesday. So he certainly is a model offshore powerboat racer of consistency for this year. And at the present time, he is running very strong, and he's holding off all challenges being made by High Risk, Risky Business, and Talon Comp 37, as well as Euromarine Special at the present time. Concrete Cat is also coming up in that class, but right now Felix Sorales certainly has to be one of the odds-on favorites in class. From Atlantic City, New Jersey, it's Felix Sorales' Miss Don Q Rum. Now we come up on M66, the Brickyard Race Team. This is a 38-foot Chris craft powered by two 500-horsepower Merc Cruiser inboards with Merc Cruiser drives. This boat is owned by Delia Pontiac. Driving today is William S. Barnhart from Greenwich, Connecticut, and John Salson is your throttle man. The Brickyard had a tough day on Tuesday. They brought this boat purposely for the rough water. Going by on the outside, that's Achille Motors, and that boat is screaming around the race course, and coming right behind him is Power Marine. Achille Motors and Power Marine are locked in a fierce battle in UIM 1 as they're chasing Gancha de Gancha, who is unofficially in first place. You've got Gancha de Gancha, Achille Motors, Power Marine, SDA Special Edition is there, and Joe Mack's Dirty Laundry. What a great class of racing UIM 2 is providing for us today. But right now we're back to the Brickyard. Normally this boat is a cat hull, but they brought this boat for the fear that they would have rough water racing conditions, and they wanted to be able to get through it. So that was a good piece of strategy on John Salson's part, and William Barnhart, having a lot of faith in him, listened, and they brought this boat out. The sponsor for this boat is Brickyard, which is a restaurant in Danbury, Connecticut, owned by Don Altieri. The Brickyard Race Team from the World Championships being held in Atlantic City, New Jersey. the radio, it has been brought to our attention that Kevin Brown, your champion nationally in UIM2 in Team Skater M32, has met with a very serious accident out on the race course. We'll have to wait and get updated results to see how things have fared for them. We hope everything is okay, but we have heard that it is a very serious accident for Kevin Brown's Team Skater. We will be bringing you updated results as they become available to us. That's SDA going by on the outside. That's a UIM2 class boat. The SDA race team going by Brickyard. Now we come up on P16, Euromarine Special Race Team. This 30-foot Chris Craft is powered by three 2.4 EFI Mercury outboard motors. This boat is owned by Tommy Caruso, who does the throttling from Mamaroneck, New York. Charlie Jelnick is your throttle man. And this boat is sponsored by Euromarine Yachts Limited and Total Yacht Sales. And going by on the outside, that's boat number 101, the SDA race team. Different competitive levels and classes, so certainly not a problem for Caruso and Jelnick. The crew members of the Euromarine Special are Jeff DiMartino, who's done a fine job of rigging this boat in mid-season for them, and Rich Lomnitzer and Dave Schulman make up the balance of this crew. Euromarine Special came on mid-season, and they have had a few mechanical problems, but overall the boat is running very well, and they're expecting some much better performance for the 1990 campaign. The crew would like to extend a special thanks, as well as myself and Jeff Geordi, a freeze-frame video, to Jeff DiMartino. We wish him a very speedy recovery from an accident that he suffered recently right before the World Championships, but we have heard that he is all right, and we wish him all the best in a very speedy recovery. Tom and Charlie would also like to extend a very special thanks to their dads, who've done a great job in enabling Caruso and Jelnick to get this team off the ground. So with all the help and support behind them, Euromarine Special has had a relatively good 88 campaign, and they're really, 89 campaign, and they're really looking forward to much better performance and results for 1990. They had an 8th place in Tuesday's race here, and they certainly are improving upon that right now. They're running in the lead pack. There you see Jelnick and Caruso up close doing their thing in that race cockpit, and they are doing better right now on Sunday's leg, and they're improving over their Tuesday's finish. We wish them all the best from the World Championships in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Tom Caruso, Charlie Jelnick, Euromarine Special. From a nice overhead shot, we come up on P26, Talon Comp 37. There's a 37-foot Talon catamaran hull powered by three 270 horsepower Mercury outboard motors. This boat is owned by Gary Armington. It is driven by Tom Moeller from Sarasota, Florida, and Paul Kesserling is your throttle man. Talon Comp, they had a fourth place finish in Tuesday's leg of this World Championship, so with a good finish here today, they could be in the money in class. They're definitely in a hunt right now with Miss Don Q Rum, who you saw earlier on, who's having another great day. High risk, risky business, and they are holding off Euromarine Special and Concrete Cat. So they are in the thick of things right now, so we certainly hope they have a good run here today to try to finish in the money. Kesserling and Moeller have had a very interesting campaign race history. They met with some adversity over the years. They've had a series of some accidents, but they've always come back, and they've had some great racing right now, and they have catapulted them back to the championship status that they've once enjoyed, and they're back where they belong after much adversity. So that is certainly a testament to their skills. Now we come up on S23, the Insanity Race Team. It's a 24-foot skater powered by two 200 horsepower Mercury outboard motors. This boat is owned by Chuck New, who is your driver of record. Jason New is the driver, and Chuck New is the throttle man. The New is hailing from New York, making up the Insanity Race Team. On Tuesday, they took a fourth place, so with a good finish here today, they could finish in the top three finishers in the stock class division. They're presently dueling with George Peterson's Vigilante and Skater Express for the top three spots in S-Class. I'd like to extend a special thanks to Pro Marine for doing a fine rigging job and maintaining the boat for the past 2 years and helping Insanity have the successful career that they've had in the field of offshore powerboat racing. The News doing a wonderful job in Insanity. In 1988, they were third in the Northeast Division and third in the North American Series. So they certainly hope they can have a good finish here today and finish in the top three finishers in the World Championships for '89. We're going to stay with the News in Insanity Race Team right now as they're heading toward the checkered flag in their class. Many of the boats have already finished in their classes. We're in the process of compiling the results for you, and in just moments we'll be bringing you the final results of today's race, as well as crowning the champions in all classes in the Trump Castle World Championships for 1989 from Atlantic City, New Jersey.